Now, I have in the studio with me a member of the campaign council who is also a spokesperson for the Obi-Datti campaign council. This time around is a lady that we have in the studio. I have Ndi Kato. Thank you so much, Ndi, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. So let's begin with the campaign council. 1,234 members. Are all of them members of the Labour Party?
So I've said this before and I would like to clear it now. This campaign is centered on volunteerism, right? Many people have put their hands on the plow. Many people are putting their time and energy to make sure that Peter Obi is elected because they believe in his vision. They believe in what he has said he's going to do. What is it that Peter Obi has said he's going to do? He says he's going to streamline governance. He's going to streamline governance. I've seen him do it before. Simplify the governance process. Make it more efficient. Make it less cost effective. Make it transformational. Make it responsive. That is what people are looking for. So there are so many people who may not at the beginning have belonged to Labour Party, but have put themselves in this campaign, have said, look, wherever this campaign is headed, we are following it. And they followed it into Labour Party. So if Labour Party is the machine, is the vehicle that is going to carry everybody, then everybody enters and goes. But everybody, at this point, Labour Party also understands. The Labour Party has so many, tentacles outside of the party. We have NLC, their relationship with NLC, TUC, and all of that. Many people belong in these spaces, and Labour Party works with all of these people. So to say working with the Nigerian people that Labour Party normally does on a normal day through NLC and TUC, this is just another day in the office for them. This is what they're used to doing.
Okay, when you talk about, you just said that Obi's vision is to cut costs.
Yes, please.
And also make governance simple and small.
Yes.
But from the beginning, with the number of people in the campaign council, is that cutting costs?
Of course. This
1,000.
This is again. When we talk about IG, there's a place you people are coming from. You're coming from a place where if they put campaign council, you start dropping millions. You will give this one, go and mobilize, go and pay.
Not a politician. So
I'm saying this is what you're used to. And let's be honest, this is what, in the political space, this is what is accepted. This is what people are used to. So I'm not saying that you're a participant in this. But election after election that you have witnessed, this is it. We bring out funds, we mobilize. If this person say they're in support group, money will come out from somewhere. If this person say they are this, that governor of this president of this, will bring out bags and they. But this is volunteerism. People are actually bringing their time and energy and effort into this. And from the beginning, Obedience have said something. We know they give shishi. It has been said since. People are doing this for free. People are even bringing their own funds. So you may try to keep something small and try to do political cronyism when you have a system where, if 5 people are part of this, if 300 people are part of this, all of those people know how they'll personally benefit from being in the campaign council. So you now try to keep it small because, this is like a reward system. But if you have a system where people are bringing their own effort, bringing their own funds, bringing their own energy and putting it on the table and saying, I'm willing to do anything for Peter Obi to be elected. That kind of system, what you can do with it, because you already have a privilege that others do not have. So you do the more, the merrier, which is what Labour Party is doing. It's a case of the more, the merrier. They're not sharing money to anybody. They're not sharing money to people. They don't have money bags somewhere that on election day or even before election day, they have to bring out from somewhere. We gather in one room and then you share it. No, people are bringing their efforts to this. And when you have people willing to bring their efforts to this, and there's so many people, this list, as you look at it, people are still upset that they do not belong in this list. And for that, this is another thing that points to Peter Obi's kind of leadership. He talked about responsive leadership, and he's showing it. Immediately, Peter Obi apologized. He took responsibility and said they will be corrected. The people that they do not like inside the list, those people will be removed. The people that feel that they have been excluded, to the best of their ability, Peter Obi, the campaign committee, and the Labour Party are going to do their best to make sure that people are included. Not just Peter Obi apologized. Today at Barcelona Hotel, Comrade Julius Abure, the party chairman, he apologized again. That's the second person taking responsibility. He apologized. He said, you know what, put the blame on everything on me. I take absolute responsibility and we will do as you have said. That was not enough. Doyin Okupe did the same thing. he asks that every responsibility, he takes responsibility and corrections will be made. You're seeing that from campaigning, these people are showing you how they are going to lead. And it's not hard. It's not hard to be accountable, IJ. It's not hard to be accountable. So as we're looking at this list, this is a list of people who are willing to volunteer their time and energy. And when you have that kind of list, IJ, nothing is too much. Nothing is too much. The more the merrier. You want to bring in your time and effort into this. If we need 100 more people in Zamfara, IJ, we do need 100 more people. We are not sharing free money to these people. These are people who are going to put in their time and energy. Why would we say we are going to exclude them? The only reason we're having this conversation that, oh, 1,000 this is too much, is because we're used to this system being where we, number one, reward political cronies. Number two, we keep it all closed so that it's only an exclusive group of people. This is open. People who have normal jobs are here. Traders are here. Young people who have never done politics before but have put their hands into this are all here. How much space can you create? As much more to accommodate everybody, and that is what the Labour Party is doing.
Okay, let's take a look at the controversies that is surrounding the inauguration. Was it an inauguration or just the announcement?
Just the announcement.
The announcement, which happened on a Monday, I think so. Yes, about 2 days ago. A particular person was named, and that person happens to be someone who made a statement during the NSAS protest after the October 2020.
Yes.
And the youth are not happy that the man is in a team. If they are bringing such person that can trigger anger and make some people become aggrieved, would that not be checked? Are they going to remove him from the list?
I believe that the conversation around apologies is that. So there are two things involved here. Of course, the person mentioned was General Enenche, I believe.
Yes.
There are two things involved here, and these two things can be true. That if you are in the system of the army, you do as you're told. He has, yes, you can say, oh, this person can resign and all of that, but it's, you know this, that it's not as easy as that. There are complications to that. He did this, which many of us young people were repulsed by it. Now he's outside the army. He thinks, oh, I can say what it is I want to say. I can do what it is I want to do. And now he wants to participate in this. But the repercussions of his actions continue. And that's the second part of the thing that is true. That there are repercussions to those actions. That even if you did that under command, even if you did that because of your office, there are repercussions to it. And that is what young people were calling out. Many young people were repulsed by this, and rightly so. Rightly so that they were repulsed by this. And the party has looked at this and said, look, we understand what you're saying. We've listened to you, and we're going to do, and we're going to pay attention to your complaints, and we're going to do the right thing. So this is not, it's that, look, and again, this speaks again to being responsive to people, to empathy, to understanding the mood of the nation, to understanding the needs of young people. When young people speak, respecting them, and that is the kind of precedent.
But why didn't they check before taking this man's name into the list? That it may even affect some members. Some persons who are supporting him. They didn't check it. At the
end of the day, IG, this is an expansive list. There's so many people they are putting into this list. You see somebody come from what's the name of the place, from Benue. He's speaking so passionately. You know, he released the video. He's speaking so passionately. He's talking about all the things that he wants to do. And you know of this man, you know of his family history. Of course, you know who he's related to. You know, like, oh, this person has so much influence. You think this person is going to go forward. Not everybody would have paid attention at that time. And that is wrong, of course. So we're not going to sit down here and say, oh, it is all perfect, it is all right. Taking accountability is one good thing that the Labour Party is doing, Peter Obi is doing, understanding places where they get it wrong. So there's no need to come here and say, no, we did the right thing, we're doing this and then we change. No, we may have gotten it wrong here. And the government will not get everything right. A campaign will not get everything right, IJ. But the key thing is, and a good sign of leadership, a president, anybody, a leader will not get 100 over 100. But that 10% that he fails, you look at it and say, I didn't do well in this. I'm going to take accountability for this, which is the crux of this conversation, that the first thing we even started with in this conversation, and you reported, was that Peter Obi has actually taken responsibility. All of these people have taken responsibility. They're not spitting in the faces of young people and saying, oh, what you're saying does not matter. They are respecting the mood. They're respecting your questions, even as a journalist. That, look, this has brought up concern. We understand. We may not have gotten this so wrong, so right. And as we haven't gotten this so right, we're going to go back on it. And it's that simple. It's not a controversy when it has been sorted. If it is when it is dragging, you're seeing certain people, you're seeing other political parties, an issue can drag on and on and on. We are cancelling campaigns here. That's when you say it's controversy. This one will throw this one talk, that one will throw that one talk. IJ, that's when you say it's controversy. But when an issue comes up and people come out and say, wow, we were wrong, we are sorry, we are going to do right by you. It's not controversy anymore. It is that something happened and it has quickly been corrected. And it shows you how these people are going to carry on if you give them a chance at leadership.
All right, let's take a look at the ASU Rock, the battle for the ASU Rock. Yes. Peter Obi is coming out when you have an incumbent party having a candidate running for the same election. You also have the once ruling party still in the race. And you have some candidates that are very strong regionally. And Peter Obi is one person that is coming from the South. In the South, they have close to about 4 or 5 candidates. If we take the calculation and the mathematics in all of this, how will Peter Obi garner votes in places like Lagos? You know that Tinubu is a stronghold in Lagos. In places like Kano, where you have opposition there, the incumbent governor is not with Labour Party. People like the UNPP candidates cannot say they will ask his supporters to go vote for Labour Party. So we're looking at getting votes across Nigeria.
Yes. You
think it is possible for Peter Obi?
Of course it is possible.
How?
When we started this campaign, in fact, when they started, because let me even talk to let me use myself as an example. When they started this campaign, I looked at many of these young people and asked, is it possible? But every single day, they have shown us more and more that, you know what, we're covering more space. It is possible. IJ, it's possible. Some of these places you would feel these are not traditional places that Peter Obi can get votes from. But we're breaking those places. We're having more and more young people coming out. Again, you point out, though, this election is going to be decided mostly by 2 groups. The highest number of voters right now are young people and women. And young people are gravitating towards asking questions.
But hope you don't forget that there's voter apathy. You look at the number of votes, and we don't get 10%. We don't get 14%.
IJ, you are looking at an election that more than ever, young people that they used to send before, you will see videos of election and young people will be like, I collect my 5K, you know, all of those things. And now you're seeing young people organizing themselves. You should feel that there is a seismic shift. There is a shift, IJ. If you see that before, these people don't used to care. Election day. I remember, was it 2011 election? I was lodged somewhere and in Wuse too, we came out and then we were even dancing on the road like the road is free. That was me.
Exactly.
That was me in 2011. The next election, 2015, was different for me. The next election in 2015, I saw myself participating as a young person. And with each election, we've seen the growing participation of young people, right? But with some elections, young people feel like they don't have enough things representing their needs, enough things representing enough people representing their voices for them to actively participate in these elections. So what do? They just abstain. They do not take the election seriously. You hear conversations like all of them are the same. Give us a candidate that will show us that they are not the same, and then we will put our efforts in. And then finally, they found that election. So we cannot judge these elections with other elections when you are seeing actively that things are happening differently in this election. Things are happening differently in this election. Young people are organizing. They're using their own funds. If you see election, IJ, that people are taking their own money, before you are seeing election that politicians have to canvass, politicians have to bring out money to mobilize. People who, in Hausa, we call them young kasua in politics, market people of politics, will come and collect money, go and say they are mobilizing this, they are doing this, they are doing that. You see that typically in elections, but you're seeing in this election, it is now the reverse that is the case, right? We've done a 180-degree turn, and young people are doing, I'm bringing my own efforts. You don't even have to register me into the party. You don't even have to remember my name. I'm going to do whatever it is I can in my own corner, and even expand beyond my corner and do things I have not been known to do before. Many young people that I don't even used to know their name before, young people like Chudi, Maurice Monye, Weyimi, young people are carrying Yusuf. These are people that before on Twitter they used to throw bands. They will come and put jokes on the TL and go. These young people have had to become politicians overnight so that they can get things done. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not the same thing. This election is different, and I think that the media needs to carry itself along, should not be left behind. So
you're saying the media should join the bandwagon?
We are saying that we need you to recognize and actively say that you have recognized that something different is happening. Something different.
So you want us to campaign?
No.
We are supposed to be apolitical.
What we want you to understand or to see is, look, there has been a change. There has been a shift.
That's like campaigning for the candidates.
No, IJ, you understand there has been a shift. Then yourself, you report in that excitement.
Really?
This is the mood of the nation. Yes, IJ.
I think we should switch.
This is the mood of the nation. Nigerians are eager. You don't have to mention a political party. Look, the truth about it is, in critical times, the media should not stand aloof. In critical times...
But the media isn't doing that.
Hold on.
That's why we have people like you here in the studio.
In critical times, IJ, the media should understand the mood of the nation and project that mood of the nation, because we're looking on to you for a state as hope. We're looking on to you for hope. Like, look, what is happening on the streets? We shouldn't have to come and hustle to say, please say it. You should say it if you see it. And if something is happening and there's been a seismic shift, this is not an election like others. This is an election that young people have carried on their head, an election where young people are actively campaigning. For many people, this is their first step into campaigns, and they're doing it so seriously. We cannot act like this is just another election where there will be voter apathy. This is not voter apathy, and I'm calling it for you, IJ. These young people are going to surprise us. Older people are going to surprise. This is going to be like NSAS, when older people are like, we may not be able to come and say, but see our support, see our support. And that's what is happening a lot. A lot of the older generation are saying, we see what you're doing, and on election day, we will show you that you have our support too. So let's not let these people down by acting like we don't see what is happening.
All right,
we see what is happening.
We need to go for a short break here. After you are saying the youths are solidly behind Peter Obi for 2023, but this though is an allegation for now, it's not been proven, but people are already investigating that there are plots to rig the 2023 election, and they want to stop the use of PVAS.
So, of course, Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians, we have had our fair share of election rigging, government-aided election rigging, of course, power of incumbency. And it's not far-reaching for people to see this happening already and say, look, oh, let us call it out. Because a lot of times it is with the power of incumbency that elections are rigged. And as they're calling it out right now, of course, this new electoral act, the beavers are like a savior for these elections.
But they are going to court to stop it. And you're already saying the young ones are going to, for you, and the millions, or the number of people, the millions of people, the candidates that you're supporting said he has. He said he already has 15 million Nigerians that will vote for him. Those 15 million Nigerians are going to vote on election day.
Yes.
And they are expecting that technology would do the magic. But this is what is going on. We cannot wave it away.
So we're already seeing conversations around it. Another thing we need to do is to educate a lot of young people. I mean, there are organizations that are doing this, educating young people, civil society. This is their role to civil society, really educating young people on what is happening. INEC doing its share to educate young people on what is happening, and even young people themselves who understand what the beavers are, what the Electoral Act is. I've seen people actually talking about it on social media, bringing up this issue of the beavers and how they want to use it to rig the elections. On all ends, to be honest, except the ruling party, of course. They will turn the other eye to this. And it's a serious issue. We cannot turn another eye to it. This election, the beavers make the difference. The beavers make the difference. And many people are entering this election with some form of hope. That's what is carrying people this election, hope. So right now, IJ, the voter apathy we are fearing is not for this election. It is what will happen.
Before the election?
No. If they dare to rig an election where people have so much hope, then the next one, 2027, that's when young people will say, we tried. But then,
it didn't work.
But it didn't work. Nigeria let us down. So if they dare it, it sets an ugly precedent. And the thing with politicians, I always say this, is a certain level of selfishness that they don't see beyond their nose, that they don't see beyond today. Let me do this and rig this today, not knowing that that precedent that has been set, sorry, can come in another election to affect you. You can put all the things in place to rig today, and then you don't win election. The next one you intend to win, the same thing that you used for one election will be used against you. And I hope politicians learn to see that. Sorry. So
finally, before we go, you see, Nigerians are really apprehensive. They are waiting for a better election. President Muhammadu Buhari promised earlier this year, and even just a few weeks ago, that he was going to give Nigerians the best of elections that they've never heard before. So he is not going to be part of this election. So do you think that the election will come clean this time?
We hope so. So we want to hold them accountable and hope so. Sorry, my voice is working against me today. I'm really choking. But we hope so. We hope that they keep to his word. I mean, it's so easy to say it. But then again, the political will to actually do the right thing is different from saying so. And of course, that trust deficit, I always talk about trust deficit. There's no trust for this person because the last election, a lot of people have said this, those elections were rigged. We saw so many irregularities during the last election. Remember the things that happened in Kano State?
You were even part of that election.
I was part of that election.
Yes.
I was so disappointed as a young person putting in so much energy in that election and seeing the election rigged on the scale that it was rigged, brazen rigging outside. And he was part of that. So hearing Buhari, who has been part of that, say that he's going to do this, one of the things that gives me hope is that, okay,
it's
now
you
don't have personal interest. And you know what happens with Buhari when he doesn't have personal interest in the thing. He takes his hands off and like, you know what, all of you should go and sort yourself. So I'm really hoping that that lack of personal interest, that selfishness in quotes comes into play here, and he takes his hands off and allows these bodies, that is INEC, these institutions, to actually do the right thing. And this is what we continuously ask of politicians. Buhari, we don't actually need you to do anything in this election. We need you to just take your hands off. What weakens our institutions like INEC that should deliver quality elections, is when politicians continue to interfere. So as him is even saying he will deliver, my own word for him is, at this point, Buhari, just take your hands off. You're a politician like every other person. INEC is the institution responsible for this. Allow INEC to be strengthened, and the more you take your hands off all of these things, it strengthens that institution and allows that institution to function as it should function. So we're hoping that that happens, and we're hoping that, look, the beavers and the joke they are trying to play with the beavers. They should not try it. Many people are depending on the beavers for a free and fair elections. Because as INEC has broken this thing down over and over again, the beavers are the surest tool to ensure that you cannot rig these elections. And IG, it doesn't make any sense, right? If you say beavers are the surest tool that will ensure that elections are not rigged, why would anybody be trying to make sure that the beavers are not used?
That's politics.
Why? We need for once politicians to allow institutions in Nigeria to work. We're really depending on these institutions to work. We're really depending on these institutions to work for the sake of Nigerians. We need this to work. Nigerians do not need voter apathy the next time. They need to believe in their nation. We need a sense of nationhood, and these are some of the things that help us with that.
All right, Ndi Kato, I want to say thank you, and we'll be having more of you. I still need us to bring in the young as well as the women to talk more on the 2023.
Is this the first election where a woman is a spokesperson?
No, this isn't. But most of them don't like going on TV. That's
why would a spokesperson not want to go on TV?
I don't know. We're waiting for that. We want women to come out and then voice it. That's what it is. The young Nigerians should come out and voice it too, because the election is about them. They have over 70% registered young Nigerians and women in the voter register. So that's the much we can take on the program tonight. And until we return tomorrow, 10 p.m., keep it with us. We'll still be talking